Alright, so in this one we are going to be doing my Dragon Ball Legends top 10 tier list for February here. Might even get another one in February, depending on what drops at the end of the month. But as of February 14th, 15th now, this is my top 10 tier list, so let's just jump into it. You can see the new Goku is here. I know a lot of people are talking about that he's not top 10. I also heard the same thing about Zamasu, and then most people wouldn't have him top 10, so I think it's Goku's new top 10, as well as just to mention Trunks, the new Super Trunks, I think is very competent. I don't think he fits top 10. I think there's a little better options, as I will go over with number 10. But I do think, the Tamagami, the Turles, the Vegeta, Super Trunks, all kind of float in the same threshold of like this 11 through 15 slot. If I were to give more specifics on Trunks, I would say he hits... I like Tamagami more, I'm going to be honest. Trunks is teetering 12 or 13 with Turles. I don't know which one he is, but he's teetering 12 or 13, so obviously he's not top 10, but that's where I'd have him. So let's get into it. Number 10 here is going to be Mr. Ultra Rosé. Again, I think with Vegeta being as subpar as he is, I've used him double Zenka buff recently. Literally, like the last week I used him double Zenka buff on a Blast team. His optimal thing, because he usually is built on strike teams with single Zenkai buffs, and it's just really bad, and he looks really worse there. Use him at 2x. I believe Gotenks was on the team, if I'm not mistaken, which would give him support as well. And, yeah, he didn't look too hot. But Rosé, in a early game sense, can do more damage. Obviously, he does have more cover null, technically, just because Vegeta is limited to cover null prior to his gauge. If he does get his gauge, things go well, but that is also an RNG thing. Rosé just enters with his cover null, right? Vegeta has to maybe get a green, maybe not die below 50% if he doesn't get sniped, or, this, that, or the other. There's just some inconsistency to that. Nothing crazy, just a little bit, right? As well as Rosé's blue card is just maniacal. This thing is a fast animation. It can paralyze as well as make you bleed, and you know how gimmicks do work in this game. If you get one, you're probably going to win the match because gimmicks are that strong and units are that strong that follow alongside it. Rosé also does have a better team setup, as you do have him more strike-based. Vegeta, again, you are building him strike-based on a lot of teams just because the stats aren't too far apart. But how he would opportunely be made is on a Blast team, let's say with Gohan Trunks, maybe the Super Saiyan Blue Zenkai Vegeta. Doesn't sound like a bad team. It isn't a bad team, but there's better. Rosé alongside MZ and some third character, let's just say Turles, let's just say anyone else in this list, let's say Gohan Trunks because they have even stats, let's say God Goku, let's say Beast, let's say whoever at that point, obviously is going to have a good synergy within itself, obviously with MZ as well, because they do give each other good equipment in that one co-op plat, as well as just having good equips in a general sense. Rosé is good enough. I know a lot of people were kind of doubting if he'd be good enough on his initial droppage of his plat, but he does his job. He does his job well. If I'm going to be really transparent, damage settings, that's what we're comparing with Vegeta, as Vegeta could be a candidate for top 10 if Rosé were not here. I would still don't think he would be top 10, but still, he could be a candidate for it. It would just be the early game. I prefer, let's say, their evenness, right? So they're both there. As well as Rosé would be better tanking early game, as Vegeto's in base still. So you go to mid game, Rosé's probably like halfway to fully built up. Vegeta could be in Vegeta Blue, or he could be just about to get there, so I give that to Rosé. And late game, yeah, sure, Vegeta Blue can have it, but a lot of times I actually do find myself fighting Vegeta Blues, and they get sacked off first, so he doesn't last to late game. There's not really much necessity for him. If you're running Vegeta Blue, he most likely is the worst third on your team, besides that Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta team, that's Brain's future. Obviously, that Vegeta would die first, but most times I'm fighting Vegeta Blue, he dies first. Let's say it's with Daima and Beast, and that's just 3 good units together. I will always see Vegeta Blue die first. Unless they accidentally kill their Daima, they didn't just expect him to die in like a snipe setting and they were just a silly guy. Most times though, if they choose who to die, it's going to be Vegeta. Like if I'm going to MV lock, they're going to go to Vegeta. If I'm going to Super Saiyan 3 Infinite, they're going to go to Vegeta. And a lot of times he's in base, sometimes he's in blue, but a lot of times he's in base. That unit does not impress me, and the only reason I talk about him here is because Rosé is going to be a one-to-one comparison. As they're both damage dealers, who do you want more? I would want Rosé more than I'd want Vegeta Blue. Now, number 9, I always say this, the tricky spots are through that 8 through 10 tier, sometimes even touching up to number 7. For this one, it is only actually 8 through 10. Number 9 is tricky to me. I am debating MZ or IT Goku. And when I think of it in a mannerism of simplicity, I understand IT Goku is much easier to use. And could that be debated as he's better because he's easier? Maybe. But then I also understand that MZ, once he does get stuff happening, and MZ can do some crazy shit because I use MZ, I know, and as well as the colors as being a better off situation, as I have one blue here that's a half blue, and I have two ultra yellows here. Goku's in a little worse spot, though he's comped against them. I find myself debating who's better, even though I think this debate is a little bit biased of me, as I do have MZ 14 stars and Goku 4 stars. The fact that I'm debating them probably means Goku's better in my mind. So with that, I think they're very close to interchangeable, but I do have to separate them because there is a separation where I would have MZ 9. Again, if I did have Goku, let's say 14 stars like I do MZ, I'm sure I'd be more confident to say Goku's 8. But I'm much more in between. You know, some people might say MZ's not even top 10. Some people might say he's even higher than this. Some people think he's the best red in the game. I ain't all on that. No, those are high extremes. But I think MZ is pretty good. I think MZ does his job well, especially if you have higher stars. Again, what I relegate this character to in a situation of comparison would be Super Baby 2. As Super Baby 2, if you don't have him high stars, he wasn't doing well. And people like to say he was doing good on drop. No. Baby was not bad, but he wasn't good on drop. He was okay. Super 17 coexisted. Baby was not doing his best output or best settings on drop. Baby a little bit later, a month or 2 or 3 later, was looking crazy. Even during Annie, Baby was pretty good, right? Maybe at least to run like Gogeta, fusing Gogeta Blue, Baby, and Super Vegeta people would run. Because, like, why not at that point? Get a lock-in kill, get a free rush kill, 2 guaranteed kills, why not take it? And Baby aged well. He wasn't really that guy on drop, though he was good, he just was scared. MZ is a similar spot, but he has a less going against him. Clearly, you only have, again, a half blue here in the top 10. If you do consider Turles top 10, sure, but then you have green allies of literally 3 green characters on this list. So I do think MZ is fine. Again, if you have stars, you'll see more value to him. If you have him low stars, you're not going to see much value. With Goku, it actually is a thing of, I have him 4 stars, and I can clearly understand that he is very good. Though frail, he is still very good. It's not hard to understand an AoE green unit as a lock-in is very good, right? MZ taking a little bit of hits, having to kind of do retaliation back, not having cover and ult every time on entry. There's quirks to him. There's flaws to him. Even Goku has flaws. He's frail. But MZ has more easily punishable flaws, I guess you could say, than Goku. And I think that does impact this to a degree to where I would say MZ is below Goku. Though, if I were to run the 2 units, I would always prefer to run MZ, as he is the more fun unit. But, yeah. MZ, number 9. Again, I like that he's at least top 10. A lot of people would just shit on him, so I'm glad I have him still top 10, because I wouldn't see any other unit that would be far above him that would be considered for this list. But, we move on to number 8. As I stated, is going to be the new Legends Limited Instant Transmission Goku, which I think is a terrible addition to the game. I think most people do think that's because what does he actually bring of substance to your brain cells? Nothing. You spam sidesteps, you Fisher PVs, and you AoE green them, and that's the end of the story. Then you lock in, and then you literally kill him. That is his objective. There's nothing more to that as objective. You can abuse it more with, let's say, Gotenks spawning green cards. Let's say, I think Gohan Trunks spawn a little bit of green cards there. God Goku's main spawns a green card. MV blue card after a gauge is filled into a green card he spawns. Would spawn a green card there. So you have situations to spawn green cards. Even Diamond Goku spawns green cards. But for his own self, he just green, 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 lock in, boom, gotta go, I'm gonna die. Probably killed somebody along the way, but I'm gonna go die now. And he gives you Dragon Ball Destruction to the enemy. 20% damage inflicted, health back 20% to your team, 15, something like that, as well as cancel enemy activates and buff effects, which is good stuff. It's not bad stuff. Though, why he does edge out over MZ is more what he can do to the units that do murder his soul. And that is everybody. And again, he is frail, keep pointing that out. Units that are intended to murder him, the ones advantage to him, in a purple to yellow, the yellows. Goku doesn't fully care about what these yellows do in their own specific greatest situations. Beast's greatest situation is when he's disrupting you and pissing you off and annoying you, in a defensive mannerism, obviously. Well, Goku, he gets a green. He doesn't have to click the green. He gets a green drawn, because you'll draw green on the sidestep, so you'll do that before you even click a card, so your card cost will never go up, most likely. And then he ignores Beast's gauge, or rather card cost upping, sure. I meant to say MV's gauge, but Beast's situation he ignores, the card cost upping. So you just spam out, spam out, spam out. You'll 50% proc Beast with Goku doing 2 or 3 blasts. I've done it literally 3 blasts, I think it was. 50% proc on a 14-star Beast Gohan with my 4-star Goku. It was very good. And there was no support, no nothing. It was just Goku. It was Gokuing. So he's very good against Beast's annoyance, as well as MVs. Like I mentioned, the gauge. MV will get his gauge, but Goku, every time he clicks a Strike or Blast, is sealing blue cards. So Goku, his ideal setting is to fight anybody, actually, because he can just spam out cards. Let's say MV has his gauge, he lands AoE green. Well, nothing's going to happen to him. He's going to get Vanish back by just chilling out. MV can't do a blue card to follow up on it. The Beast Gohan can't do anything with the 50% proc because Goku most likely has Vanish back from doing those cards. And it just works out. Goku's very simple. Goku's very brain dead. There's not much I have to go into detail. It's just, if his role is there, he's going to do it. His role is going to be there forever. Get a fast kill. That's what your life is, Goku. Then do your life. Get an AoE green card done. Then do your life. He's a boring character. He shouldn't exist, realistically, because of what he is as a character. Just plain and simple of a, well, no brain cell mechanic. But he is here. He is pretty good. At least being top 10, I obviously do notice a trend here that Legends is following, where most of these units so far that have released in 2025 have not been the highest tiers of top 10 on initial droppage. MZ, most people didn't, I wouldn't say most people. Some people didn't consider in top 10. Goku, obviously here, being, probably within top 10 for most people, around this area for most, I would assume, as well as Gohan Trunks, I would say, were on the lower tier because they dropped. They dropped when Yellow-Green was still dominant. Yellow-Green still is dominant, but, it's getting a little bit impacted by a red unit, a purple unit, etc. But, I hope we kind of amp up something. We probably are getting an Ultra within this campaign. I want to say end of February, but within this campaign, I'd assume. So, whenever that drops, most likely assume a top 3 characters coming, if not top 1, realistically, because Ultras usually are top 1. There's very few exceptions to that. So, expect that. Goku is going to be number 8. We just need to amplify a little bit of these. I want to beat the shit out of the top tier units. Goku is good against it. MG is good against it. Gohan Trunks kind of helps them, to be honest. We need someone that actually does it. Does it, like, crazily. But number 7 is going to be Mr. Gotenks, Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks. As I do think Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks is pretty good, I do notice nothing real negative about him. It's just there's more usefulness in the others. We kind of hit a margin here, I guess you could say, with Gotenks, where you teeter this line of how good do you need to be used consistently, and every unit here that's not in the top 6, I don't face that often. Now, that's not going to say that makes them bad or good. I know people like to say that might have an impact. It just is more that you would most likely see the better units in the higher tiers, right? You're going to see the Ultra Beast Gohans more. You're going to see God Gokus more. You're going to see Super Saiyan 3 Goku more. Then you're going to see any of these 7 through 10 units. And what I feel with that is that Gotenks does his role well, but it's just not as necessary. Gotenks giving Cup Pen support. That'll help. That's good. That's great. Well, do I need that when I have Super Saiyan 3 Goku Infinite comboing Beast Gohan who can one-shot on his Special Beam Cannon if you just do one card? Boom, a Special Beam Cannon. MV that can lock in. God Goku who's immune to all the bullshit once he gets his gauge. Daima who can lock. Or Succession mechanic from Gohan Trunks. I don't really need a Cup Pen there. I have a billion other mechanics that are clearly more valuable. So I think Gotenks, while he has good mechanics, he has good stuff, and he's going to age well. He's aged well so far. He was pre-festival units that are not Ultras, pre to post-fest being what they are in the top 10 mannerism, from being top 10 to still being top 10, is a very good sign of aging. I believe he's 6 months old at this point. I don't really feel a full-on need for him. He's a good fill unit. You want to run him as your third character on the team, you can do that. That's not a problem. But do you need him? Is there a necessity to this character that's unfounded that the others don't have? No. He's good. He's alright. It's not worse than Goku. I would easily say he's better than Goku. I would easily say he's better than MZ. I would easily say he's better than Rosé. It's not close, these 7, 8, 9, 10 areas. I think there actually are pretty good margin between 7, 8, 9, 10. But, well, Goku to MZ, it's more just like a skill thing. Like, one's brain dead, one's not. which one do you prefer? The brain dead's going to be better. But Gotenks is, he's just a character you can run. You don't need to run him. I think that summarizes him the best. I don't run into him often as well, so really judging against myself, I can't. I don't run into this character. I can judge against the other characters on this. I can judge even against Goku or against MZ. I run into them a half bit decent. Shit, Rosé I run into a lot at this point. But Gotenks really is that anomaly. I get it, he was pretty fast. You're not going to run into him often, and he's on a shitty bait banner now. But I can't judge against a Gotenks if I don't face a Gotenks. So I'm just going off my experience. My experience of using him is he's a good third. He does his job. He does what he needs to do. But I could just run a better unit. That's my thoughts on him. Number 6 is going to be LF, Gohan, and Trunks. Now, why I have them number 6 is simplicity. You know, we're getting to that area where we're getting to the higher tiers here, and this unit is simply a annoying little two guys. What they are is just comboing. They won't even do too much damage, in my opinion. I mean, the Trunks when he's in Super Saiyan, sure, but as a duo, they don't really do too much damage. They're just pests. I can't special beam when they're on the team, right? If I drop combo special beam, guess what? They're going to come back in, they're going to take it, I'm going to waste it. That's annoying. I can't MV lock when they're on the team. They're going to be annoying. They're going to take it. I don't want to deal with that shit. I can't do my Diamond Goku blue card stuff with them because they're going to be a blue and take no damage. They're just annoying. They're just an annoying two units, and they annoy everything that kind of coexists in a fast kill mannerism. Because they'll be able to come back in because these allies are lowering the sub counts. They're lowering the sub count. Like, it's just, they're just an annoying duo. I'm not going to say they're even toxic. They're just annoying. They always have infinite greens, it feels like, as well. They do well. They do all right for being a purple-blue in a still green-yellow dominated meta. I think they do a fine job of themselves, but there's not much more to say. They do their role well. They just do their role better than what Gotenks' role is. Gotenks' role is being this overall kind of guy. This unit is to annoy you, infinite combo you, be a safety, and what's more important right now, a safety or an overall general damage support kind of thing? A safety, because everyone has such a snipe potential in this top 5 mannerism, which we're about to see, or just bullshit mechanism of just beating the shit out of you, you can't do anything about it. What do you want more? You know, Super Saiyan Goku stopping his combo because they popped a succession, or Gotenks dying because the endurance null and he's just spam striking 8 strikes in a row. The succession would be more impactful, right? Similar thing to Beast Gohan. What would happen? Gotenks would die to special beam, or we have succession and we live and we can see another day. You know what I mean? Like that's where we're at there. Or goddamn Diamond Goku snipe. What do you want? Trunks to take in a succession or Gotenks to die? Exactly. That's kind of where we fall in that. Number 5 is going to be, speaking of, Mr. LF Diamond Goku. Let me take another swig of coffee here. Diamond Goku, though, is, in my opinion, the best red still. Well, I do see inconsistencies with him, clearly, because there's sometimes you'll have a hand of 2 blasts, or sometimes you'll have a hand of 2 strikes. And guess what? The hand of 2 strikes really makes a difference, because then you'll get your gauge faster. Means you get your green card faster, means you get your blue card faster, means you get your lock-in faster, means you get your damage faster. There's inconsistencies where you might just not have the perfect hand. But for, I'd say, good majority of the time, 60-70% of the time, you will be able to force it. Let's say, again, you run them alongside these other allies that can do good mixed damage or just good stuff in general. Let's say you run Daima with God Goku. Okay, you do the blast cards with God Goku. You got the cover null. You don't want to waste Daima Goku's cover null because it's pretty short. I think it's 5 counts. So you do blast cards with God Goku. You go to Daima Goku. You have a green card from God Goku where you had it with God Goku. You spam 2 strikes. You do that green, you do that blue. Boom. You get another green, you get another blue. Boom, boom. Things can go well. And that's about it. He's squishy, sure. I would actually compare Super Saiyan IT Goku to Super Saiyan Diamond Goku in the squishiness, though I don't know if I can fully say they're on par, because again, it's a 4-star versus a 14-star for me right now. I would definitely assume Diamond Goku's squishier. I'm pretty sure he is. And if he's not, they're on the same league. And if anything, Diamond Goku will be squishier when he gets off boost. It's not next season, it's the season after, so when the end of February hits, he'll be off boost, or beginning of March. He'll be off boost, and he definitely will be squishier, but they're definitely a comparison squishy setting there. But Daima, again, he is doing his role against these units. Let's say he wants to snipe out Gotenks, he can do that. Let's say he wants to snipe out this Goku, he can do that. He wants to snipe out MZ, he can do that. Rosé, do that. Vegeta, do that. Tamagami, do that. He wants to snipe out Beast, do that. Super Saiyan 3 Goku, do that. The only 2 units you can't snipe out are going to be God Goku and MV, as they cancel blue card buff effects. But even then, Daima does strike blue into MV. Well, guess what? He's going to take his first life, and then you do that shit again. You get a lucky little PV, you do a strike card, you're taking 1.5 million off him because you have 50 green cards pop. Clearly, Daima is not a perfect early game unit. He actually is pretty subpar, in my opinion. I would say if Daima had his early game a little bit longer than he does his damage, he would even be like top 8. But because you can easily get settings to force him to get better off, let's say you even run with Gotenks just to force green card spawning just because you really want to. The fact that he could get his ramp up so fast, sure, he could be up here, but if it was just a little bit slower, he would not be even in discussion. Daima does his job well. There's nothing stopping him right now. There's 3 units. Gohan Trunks, which even then he could still beat the shit out of Trunks, which Trunks will be in from time to time as there's a lot of greens in the meta. 3 right there. As well as, 3 other units he can't snipe out in a perfect sense, but all the others, they're all fair game, and Dooogote's going to do it pretty well because Dooogote can hit pretty goddamn hard. Number 4 is actually going to be Ultra Majin Vegeta. Yeah. I used him on, I believe, a setup recently, and I used him as well off boost when he first got off boost, and I think he's fine. He's just more of a nuisance, realistically. He doesn't do crazy damage. The reason for this compared to Beast, because why not compare him to Beast as they are both Ultra Yellows, is that Beast has cut pen stacking on strikes, right? That's going to make him do incredible damage, especially around Beast on hybrids where he has better pures and just everything's fucking crazy over there. It's also that cut pen stacking on strikes. MV doesn't have cut pen, I believe. If anywhere, he has it on ultimate, but even then, I don't even know if it does, because like I will never notice it because ultimate buff effects always get canceled because Beast Gohan exist every match, or the units that are in prior already have it, like God Goku, Super Saiyan 3, whatever. But MV is just a nuisance. That's it. That's all I got for you. He doesn't really hit the higher tiers. He can't really do much that's like outlandishly broken. He just annoys the shit out of you. Yeah, he could pop his gauge. Yeah, he could be a piece of shit. But realistically, I'm thinking about it. We got MZ, who's obviously going to take that blue card pretty well. We got Gotenks, who could take that just because he's red. And we got Daima, who could just heal 1 billion health. So, yeah, it'll take a lot, but still heal it off. I don't particularly care if MV blue cards me at this point. Kind of is that acceptance point we reach with every Ultra that has a counter gauge. UGB, everyone used to say, just pop the gauge. And it was the correct play. Janemba, just pop the gauge. It's the correct play. MV is hitting that mold where I just don't think his damage is so outlandishly high where his blue card is going to be such an impact that makes me, shit myself if I take the hit. It exists. I'll heal later. I'll heal now. Whatever. Especially running MZ. MV kind of just works worse and worse than he usually does. So he is still top 4. I know people are kind of calling him not top 5 anymore. I would say that's a bit of forced because he definitely is a top 5 character. I would easily see where he could cause you problems. He still can't cause you problems. He's just not that crazy impact damage. He's losing his damage reduction that he had because feature boost is gone. You are noticing the cracks in him, and the only cracks would be the cracks he always had. It's just that now they're more prominent because boost is gone. He's still going to be an annoying piece of shit. You're still going to hate fighting him. Don't get me wrong. But if anything, you'll hate him a little less just because he dies a little faster and does a little less damage. Number 3, though, is going to be LF God Goku. I've actually seen this a fair bit recently, LF God Goku top 3. And I wasn't really on the ride, but now I get it. I get it. Because what really LF God Goku is in disguise is Super Saiyan 3 Goku. You pop that gauge, you have double card draw speed, you're immune to card cost stopping, and you're just going. Does that sound like Super Saiyan 3 Goku? Double card draw speed, and you're immune to card cost up? Exactly. Now pair that with an AoE green card as well. God Goku literally is just like, if Super Saiyan Goku is a 10 out of 10, God Goku is like a 9.6. Right? Because realistically, there's not too much different there. Even more, this guy gets Vanish back while doing cards, just like the Super Saiyan Goku, IT Goku. And that just gives him more stay-in power, though he doesn't want to do that particularly because he does want to swap in and out to get idealized. He's just an annoying little guy at this point. His plat, while it isn't the perfect plat, obviously it does fix the flaws he had. It's just that it happened so fast, it feels like, oh yeah, this is the perfect equipment in the game because, well, now he's so top tier. But it's more because it happened so fast, this plat. This is kind of like an LFG4 type of situation, where LFG4, if he just had these things initial kit, he would have aged like a god, but he needed a plat because he didn't have the initial things on his initial plat. And, well, he was the best unit in the game once he got his plat. This God Goku's similar. He got a fast plat. Don't know why. I genuinely, there was like no correlation to give God Goku a plat at all to anything that was happening. But he got a fast plat, and it's good for the time being. It's probably going to be good aging, realistically. And he's just the right color at the right time. God Goku does very good work. Again, if you're thinking of Super Saiyan 3 Goku, this guy is just right there next to him, being as annoying, as tedious, and maybe even more obnoxious, because what can you do against him from time to time? Realistically, the one thing he has that Super Saiyan 3 doesn't is the flaw of no cover null on first card. But yet again, that's okay. Really, it is. You just enter in when you know the subcounts are messed up. You enter in any setting you want, and most units don't even have a blast cover change. Realistically, I'm looking at here. One unit has a blast cover. Just have a blast card. That's it. Because I'm pretty sure Super Saiyan Goku has a blast cover. That's it. That's literally it. Do a blast card in your entry. Get your cover null. You're off to the races. God Goku is very simple, very easy, very tedious in my opinion. With that AoE green, especially because literally creates one on main, and you can't counterplay the prediction of a main. Like, people are gonna pop main when they pop main, right? It's just fucking hell when it happens, and you're just stuck there dying. He's very good. Kind of annoying, but he's very good. God Goku deserved the glow up. I agree with you. It just doesn't make him less of an annoying little rat. But the top two is going to be very obvious here, where this has not changed. I think the top two does teeter between a differential spot of 1/2 being interchangeable. Meaning, if you were to say Super Saiyan Goku's number one, I could agree with you. If you were to say Beast Gohan's number one, I could agree with you. I would prefer to say Beast Gohan's number one and Super Saiyan 3's number two. But again, if you were to swap that, I wouldn't be like, gasp. Come on, we know what Super Saiyan 3 Goku does. Again, I just talked about him here with God Goku. If God Goku's a 9.6, then Super Saiyan 3 is probably like a 9.9, and Beast probably like a 10, or interchangeable, both 9.9s out of 10 there, just to give a reference point. But Super Saiyan 3 Goku, you know what he does. He infinites you. He makes you want to not play the game because of that. Obviously, his Super Saiyan 2 state, you don't really even acknowledge. Like, yeah, it's there. It exists. But it doesn't annoy you enough. Like, people like to say Super Saiyan 2 Goku to Vegeta as a comparison. I think that's a fair comparison. But what happens is this Goku's gauge is just easier. So you'd always be able to transform faster with Goku than Vegeta. Even if you do want to transform early with Vegeta, the ideal Vegeta transformation would be he has his gauge, or he's just about to pop his gauge, boom, you transform, get cards, then you get your gauge, then you get a new hand, then your life is just fucking complete. With Goku, I just charge in the back of the map when the match starts, boom, I'm at 60%. Boom, I start one combo, I finish that combo, I swap him out till he can transform, let's say I 50% proc Beast, boom, my transformation's ready. So all my cards are gone, my card cost is up, I switch into Goku off a blast card, because I plan it, because you can plan that. Boom, transform, 4 cards in hand, gonna draw 3 more, bare minimum. He has double card speed, he's gonna draw a lot more, but bare minimum 3 more. And then we're off to the races yet again, being the tedious guy, having the 15 counts endurance in every entry, which hurts God Goku, which hurts MV, which hurts Gotenks, which hurts a lot of these characters, as well as being the ideal color of the game right now, because what is stopping him? Gohan Trunks? No, he has Beast right there he could run with, or even MV. Who else? Nobody else. There's no other fucking purple no one's going to mention. Though I will say Tamagami is a bit of an annoyance, and that is why I would have him above Super Trunks, because Tamagami is very good at walling Super Saiyan Goku off. But then you also get to a point where you could just say, screw it, I don't care about the Endurance Null, loses Endurance Null buff effect, and then just rush. They'll swap into Diamond Goku, because Tamagami would die to the rush. And then again, you're off to the races, but again, Tamagami is like a lone character without the rush included there, which, you know, kind of have to, kind of don't. Does wall this guy off. It's just Tamagami is not that common, and yet again, you could just ignore it, rush, do shit later, kill Tamagami later, especially in canon later. It doesn't fucking matter. You could do anything you want with this Goku and his teams. So that's why he's top 2. Again, interchangeable. Want to have Beast 1? Sure. Want to have Super Saiyan Goku 1? Sure. As well as Beast being number 1. There's not much to explain. I've been seeing a bit more of Yellow Gogeta Blue, which could be actually I would say is a top 15 unit alongside Zenkai LF Cell. Which is good. You would run Beast, Gogeta Blue, and whatever third. You want to run literally yellow, mono yellow at that point, you could do that. Would not matter at all. But I think more so just individuality. He could be built on the blast team, built on the strike team, special beam cannon, just cup pen stacking generally. So you have that on your blast cards, the cup pen. You have your blue card having cup pen. You have your ultimate having cup pen if there's no cancel buff type character. Like, there's just a lot of goodness in Beast. Though, when he does go off boost, you will notice a decline in him, I am sure. I would actually say pretty strongly. Super Sentai Goku as well, as he is not some bulky guy. He actually is just a damage setting. Trust me, in his defense, he is not there. Even with transform stats, I would say actually Vegeta is tankier than Super Sentai Goku. Even with like same Zenkai buffs and everything. But for now, Beast, nothing has changed. He's going to be top 1. Yeah, I'm assuming this Ultra is going to be some blue, maybe red, that's going to drop, and they're going to overtake this and make these units dwindle down. Though, if it is a blue, I would assume they have a lot of neutrals, so these greens here would still not be in the highest tier spots. They would actually get hurt a little bit as well, making purples get a resurgence, because obviously the greens are still there, but, you know. But with that being said, this is my top 10 list of mid-February, with it being Ultra Beast Gohan number 1/2, then Super Sentai Goku being 1/2, God Goku LF being number 3, Ultra Vegeta being number 4, LF Goku being number 5, number 6 being LF Tag Gohan and Trunks, number 7 being LF Super Sentai Gotenks, number 8 being the new Legends Limited Instant Transmission LF Goku, number 9 being the also pretty new LF Zamasu, and number 10 being Ultra Rosé. With that being said, what do you guys think of my top 10 list? I'll see you guys in the next one.